Hi everyone. Okay, so today is the tutorial on this little origami box that I was playing with yesterday. So I'm going to show you how to make them. So there's the bottom and the top. And so we're going to do the folds, and then we'll assemble the box. So I'm just going to do the folds on this sheet, on the plain sheets, and then I've got mine folded, so we'll do the assembly. So these pages are little pads that I have, and they're I believe 6 by 6 or 15 centimeters. Let's measure that to make sure. Okay. So yeah, so those are like little 15 centimeter square sheets. So I think it'll work well with the 12 by 12 pads that we get. So you could probably cut them in 6 by 6 sheets, so you'd be able to get one bottom and one top. 2 sheets would probably do it, because you need 4 of each for the bottom and 4 for the top. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fold your page in half, okay, like this, and you're going to use a bone folder. Now try to make it as even as you can, and make some nice crease. That'll help. Okay, so then after you fold it this way, you're going to want to fold it in to where your crease is. So up to the crease there, and you're just going to fold, make a nice crease, and from there you're going to fold this in half. So, and now we're going to open this up, and we're going to make this little triangle here. We're going to fold it like this. Okay. And now we want to fold this section here. So we're going to bring this corner up to here, but we won't fold it all the way, because we're going to make our first corner. So the way I do it is, you see this crease here and here, so I just bring this up like this part, okay? And when you put your finger down, there's another crease here. So you're going to go to that crease, and then you're just going to fold this page down. And so this is your first corner. So this is what happened. Okay, so I put my finger all the way through here, and then I stopped, and then I just push this down and then kind of pinch it. So this is what you end up with. So you're going to repeat this procedure 4 times, so you can pause the video and then see how it was done. So that is the bottom of the box. Now for the top of the box, if I remember correctly, because this is something I learned yesterday, so hold on. I'm just going to verify my little piece of paper to make sure I'm doing this correctly. All right, because it's a little trickier. All right, so here we go. So we're going to fold this in half again and make our, with the bone folder, just makes a nice crease. Okay, and let me see. Oh yes. All right, so there we go. So we folded it in 2, and then I'm just going to turn it this way. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to fold this flap in. Oh, just going to bring this, line this edge up like so. Okay, so from there I'm just going to turn this over, and I'm going to bring these 2 edges up together, up top. Okay, oops, now I'm going to turn this over on the other side, and because there's already a crease here, okay, you can see here, so I'm just going to bring this one piece over and just kind of align it there. Okay, all right, so now you see that gave me a crease here, so I'm just going to bring this over and fold this over to meet that crease. just like that. There we go. So now you see you end up with all of that. So I'm going to take this long point and bring it over to this edge. There we go. Okay, so now you end up with, oops, I don't know if you can see this, but this is like a square. So this line here, I'm going to bring this bottom up here. Okay, and if you can see, there's a crease here. So I'm going to do the other corner. So when I go with my finger, I stop at this little crease. Okay, and because this is going to be my other corner of my box. Okay, let me pinch this side. So this is the top and this is the bottom. Okay, now I've already done all my pieces. They're here. So once you do all 4 of them, you put them in the order that you want. If you did different colors and you want them all to look different. So this is how you assemble the bottom of your box. So you would take the ones with the long edge, and you put them all the same. You're always holding them the same way with the long edge. And what you're going to do is you're going to slide this section in here. Oh, there you go. Okay. So you're just going to move this, and you're going to stop. You're not going to go all the way to the end. And you do the same thing with this one. I don't know if you can see where I'm going inside this little crease. Okay. Same thing. I'm not going all the way to the end. Oop. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. See, this has to be flat for it to work. And it's good when you kind of make little mistakes and then you can see. So these should be laying flat and you can hold this. And this should be flat. Okay. Just makes it easier to work. And you just kind of slip this piece of paper inside. Here. Come on. Okay. There we go. Okay. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you are. Okay. And this is the last piece. And then we'll turn it over and then we'll be able to see. I'm standing up trying to be close to the camera. Okay, there. That's why I'm having a hard time. But basically, okay. So now I have to just kind of open this one up a bit. Just kind of a little awkward, but once you can get the paper in. So now you're starting to see all your pieces. Sorry, I might have been too close. Okay, so we're going to turn it upside down. And these pieces should be inside. Okay, so if you see, and as you keep pushing, these pieces together, it's making your little box. Okay, so some of my pieces are inside, and here's nice and square. So this is the bottom. Okay, and we're going to do the top. Oopsie, I have them here. And it's the same idea. You can hold all your pieces together, and you're always going the same same direction. Take the long piece and, oops, it's the other way around, I believe. There, okay. And this one we're going opposite. Oops. Oops. Okay, sorry. I guess I'm paying attention to what I'm doing, not really videotaping. Okay, so basically all my pieces, you're just sliding them in. So it's just a little awkward at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's a lot easier when I'm sitting down and able to focus on what I'm doing. And see, all my pieces should be, as I keep moving this, all these should be inside. There we go. Of course, when you're videotaping, it never goes like you want to, right? Okay, here. There. Underneath. Underneath. And this piece has to go underneath as well. Oh, there we go. Jeez. So this is the top, as you can keep pushing it to the corners, and this should flatten out. Inside it makes like a nice little pattern. And there we go. There. Ooh, it took me a little while to get here, eh? Anyway, so this is now your top. And makes it like when you're using different colors. For some reason, my bottom didn't turn out that way. It turned out differently. Yeah. So probably my pieces of paper were not going in the same direction. Anyway, it still works. So we have this, and you have your top, and it can be like if you made it to match or not, doesn't really matter. I think they're cute. So this and this. So now I have two boxes. These will fit in little affirmation cards. I think I have put some, oh, I put them in another little box. But yeah, so you could put anything in there. And if you wanted it to be a little stronger, you could probably Mod Podge this and let it dry, and then it would harden up. But it's still quite sturdy, surprisingly, for, you know, and you don't want to use a paper that's too heavy. So if we do another example for the bottom, it's just you fold once, and then you fold again, and then you fold in half, and then you do one little triangle here, and the last one is trying to make a triangle here, but not all the way. So you just bring this corner like this, right? And you go up to the crease. And once you get to the crease, that is the corner of your box, and so you just drop this piece down. So you end up with a corner, and then you just pinch it so that it can stay. And you make 4 of these for your bottom. Now for your top, we go in half, open it, and you make a little triangle, turn it, and then you go from that top like such, and you flip it, and you see your little angle there, so you're going to make one little triangle there, right? So then when you look at it, you have a triangle or a crease here. You're just going to bring this over and make a crease, okay? And you turn it upside down. You bring the long point to this point. Okay. And so now when you turn it this way, you're going to see a little square. So you want to bring this little piece up. And you're just going to bend or crease up until you get to this valley. Okay. And so then you push this down with your finger. And then you pinch the corner. So this becomes your part of your top. And this is your bottom. So you're going to make four of these, and then you're going to do them and assemble your box. So it takes a little bit of time to get the corners all pushed in. Sometimes they're not quite in. Oh, there we go. I think it's fitting in nicely now, but it's just a matter of just pushing a little bit, and so then you can decorate them. So that's for this one. I'll be doing another little pop-up origami thing, but hopefully you enjoyed this. So let me know in the comments if you want me to continue doing more tutorials. I'd be happy to share. Thanks. Have a great day.